conversation between Garrick and Doug before the podcast started. The recording started about 2 minutes into the conversation, so it is not complete.
They spent 10 years of their life on that show.
Yeah. But I found it interesting, what was his fucking name? The Whisper dude, the fat, dickless, bald guy?
Yeah, Varys.
Like, the actor was interviewed a couple of days ago, and they're like, yeah, what'd you think about, how all this happened? And he's like, well, I really haven't been a fan of kind of the direction of the show for the last couple of seasons, which is basically since the book stopped.
Since the book stopped.
And, like, that whole thing with him was just pointless.
He was right.
It made it even more pointless that Tyrion lives. Like, everybody's sitting around the table talking about fucking opening porn shops and clean water. I was just sitting there like this. I was like, God damn, this is so fucking ridiculous. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Why? Like, I don't know, man.
I'm just saying, there has to be, for that to have gone down that way after so many brilliantly written episodes, there had to have been some sort of controversy that will probably come out. There's no way the writers said, this is how it's going to be. This is how we want this to be done. There's no way. They had it a certain way, and HBO or somebody said you can't do it that way. No, I don't think so.
I think that these guys just fucked up. And like I said, man, they just got caught. It's like, put your stamp on it and make it your own because you can, or don't. And just don't do anything. And they just didn't do anything. They didn't help the story along. They didn't do anything. Like, really the only thing that Martin had to tell them was, okay, Daenerys is going to burn the fucking city down. Okay?
Yeah, right. That's got to happen.
And so they get that point, and they're like, okay, how can we do this in 6 episodes? And that's how they decided.
Or they spent so much time.
And why did they try and do it in only 6?
Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it doesn't make any sense.
None of it makes any sense. No. There has to be something that we don't know, and it's what, like I said, HBO executives came in with a dry erase board and said, "This is how it's got to be done."
Or just simply like Martin said, "Look, this key point's going to happen. You guys finish it however you want to," and this was the best that they could come up with.
Maybe they're all done with it.
I mean, just because they're great showrunners doesn't mean that they're great storytellers if they don't already have a story. And I mean, maybe they just thought, let's just do this as easily as we can, story-wise, keep it simple, and everybody gets out alive. We're not going to piss anybody off. And like I said, by not pissing anybody off, you pissed everybody off. Because you didn't do it.
There's people out there, man. There's people out there that really liked it the way it was. I mean, they did. So you're never going to make anybody happy.
And those are the people that have never read any of the books.
You're right. Well, and
didn't like the show for the reasons that I liked the show. That's why I bitch about it, is because what I liked is not knowing. Like, when you think you knew something on this show, it fucking left turns your ass every time. Not some of the time, every fucking time. I mean, think back to, like, Jaime getting his hand cut off.
Oh, dude.
Like,
and Dad Lannister, Tyrant. I mean, he was the best. He was the best bad guy.
Awesome.
And when he got killed on the crapper, it's the best thing ever.
But they just wouldn't do anything, man. They could have done 1,000 different things and still had her die. Burn the city down and die. But, man, dude, do it. At least try something creatively, dude. And it's like they were like this.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I felt like their hands were tied. I'm sure it'll come out. Or you're right. Or they just did it as easy as possible. Because, like I said, like, you had 3 or 4, like, you could have had Arya Stark, I mean, just from that moment, when she jumps on the Night King snaps her neck, knife falls. Greyjoy doesn't get killed there. He's almost dead on the ground right here, right? Sees it, grabs the knife, kills the Night King, saves Bran. Awesome. Dragon dies in the fight. Pisses Queen off.
Yeah.
Queen burns the house down. John has, you know what I mean? Like, there's a gazillion things.
That would have made more sense.
That would have made totally more sense.
From a writing standpoint.
And it wouldn't even, what the thing is it wouldn't even have cost any more money. It's just almost a shifting of edits. And a couple of characters being here and not being here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And dude, that dragon, Drogo not flying over at the end to leave us hanging with something was like terrible. Because you know he's a Targaryen. Well, that dragon was his.
Rick made a point. He's like the only thing that I can think of as to why they chose to do it this way and basically leave everybody alive is to leave open the possibility of coming back and trying to continue the show. You know, in
maybe
in 3-5 years.
Sure. Oh, maybe.
Because the guys that want off the show really bad, who hate it because they've been on it for 10 years, like Kit Harington, he's gonna find that he's not really that good of an actor when push comes to shove.
Yeah, he's gonna
be the to me, he's the new Gerard Butler. He's gonna be in like relationship movies, and then he's gonna be in fucking fight movies.
Yeah.
And where's Butler now?
I think he's doing another terrible law-abiding citizen or something with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. It's like, so I could see them in 5 years being like, let's bring it back.
Yeah.
You know, for a couple of seasons or something. Maybe after Martin finishes this book and all this. I could see that. But the part about that doesn't make any sense is when he finishes the book and it doesn't end like it does on the show and he doesn't have any more material, then you're still going to be stuck where you were at the end of season 7. You're not going to have any material, and it's going to be left up to somebody to come up with a story, and I don't trust anybody to do it.
You're right.
Because I just saw what happens.
But the books, he wasn't a Targaryen, so he was. I mean, that was all written.
Well,
but like I said, with
well, it hasn't come out yet.
Right. Well, I feel like they took their time so long for 6 seasons that suddenly it was like HBO was like, okay, you got to wrap this up, and so suddenly they had to just.
Well, because they had no more material, but still, man, goddamn. And the whole fucking end with like all these long shots on everybody, like these long goodbye shots that they did on each of the characters at the end of the show Sunday night. It was like fucking Lord of the Rings, dude. It was the exact same as the end of Lord of the Rings. Exactly the same, just with different fucking characters. The way they did with Arya, like, yes, I'm going to go to the east, and then Sansa, like, I'm not going to be part of the kingdom anymore. I'm just going to go up here, and, her walking down the aisle and all this. I was like, this is just fucking trite, dude. It's fucking horseshit. It's just bad storytelling.
I compared the Game of Thrones, the whole series. I compared it with the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl, because that's exactly kind of how it was. You came out real strong, and then at the very end, just didn't deliver and lost the game.
Well, it's like your coach fell down and had to be carted off the field, and after that, once you didn't have like a point, somebody telling you what to do, they had no idea what to do, and they just fucked it up, man.
When they decided, Martin, when the material ended, was about the time that Matty Ice dropped back to throw it on 3rd down, and got out of field goal range and gave the Patriots the game. It's the same thing. I don't know why I thought of that, but I'm like, that's what it feels like. It feels like,
and it would have been. Here's another thing that would have been cool that they could have done with Bran. Like, an interesting twist on it would have been, and it would have made it easier to swallow the whole thing with the Night King, is if you come to find out that Bran is evil.
Oh, sure.
And the Night King, like, he, once things get taken over, he wargs the fucking dragon and kills every fucking body, like, kills all the Unsullied, kills all these people. And you're like, man, we didn't know who he really was. We never knew who he really was. The Night King was trying to kill him. Like, you can look back just in your memory and be like, oh, okay. But no, just nothing. He's like, yep, that's what I've been around here the whole time for, everybody. I knew it was going to work out. It's like, shut the fuck up.
And then, and all those people, like, Jamie came up to him and he said, I'm sorry. And he's like, whatever you've done in your life has brought you to this.
Yeah, I just wish somebody would have just been like, shut the fuck up, just pushed him over in his chair.
And Brad would have looked at him and been like, dude, you fucked your sister. Like, don't talk to me.
I saw you fuck your sister.
God, and that's, ugh.
God,
Dude, that's
nasty
like,
fuck.
God, you were fucking your sister. It doesn't matter that you threw me out of the tower, dude. You could never hurt me. You were fucking your sister. Yuck, dude.
Nasty fuck.
Oh, yeah, well, now it's over. But here's the thing, and I will say this, because I'm not going to hate on it. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. The job that these guys did leading into the end, let's just, as a whole, looking at it as a whole, is a masterpiece. Even though they fell short at the end, you got to give those guys credit for what they created. They created a phenomenon. Game of Thrones,
I don't
dude.
have to give the showrunners any credit.
Well, I'm saying,
I give the credit to the writer because that's where the story came from. How they portrayed the story, I mean, was it all that great? No. The story is what...
But you watched every one of those shows.
Because of the
and
story.
you thought it was freaking awesome up until the Night King got freaking thrashed. Everything was going okay.
Even last season, man.
They rushed it. They were rushing.
You could tell because it's like...
Suddenly they were
everywhere. Yeah, it's like they're
We've
fucking...
condensed the time here.
Which was okay.
Yeah.
And that's... But I kind of felt then, I was like...
It took Jaime Lannister to almost two seasons to get from where he was back to King's Landing.
And we're there like 15 minutes in the episode. They leave and then they're here. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. What the fuck is this? Yeah.
Yeah. There was no condensed time like it was.
It just got...
What was your favorite... All right, so what was your favorite episode? Can you remember your favorite episode? Like, what was your favorite? Do you have one favorite episode?
My favorite episode was probably Hard Home. That shit was badass, dude.
Yeah, that fight was ridiculous.
Like when those fucking zombies start coming and you're just like, oh goddamn, and then they fucking get on the boat and fucking get away and he's just standing there and all the dead fucking stand up.
God, and that scene, they're on the boat.
And he's just like looking at him like...
And it goes real quiet. Remember, like there was no audio. It was, you could just hear the water and everybody's...
Then there's nothing. Like they built this thing up between Jon and the Night King for nothing. It's another fucking letdown, dude. He didn't have to be the one that killed him, but goddamn, they had to have some interaction other than him, Jon chasing him, and then Night King does like this, and then all the zombies come again. I'm like, no, man.
Oh, I agree. That was your Hard Home. I think was my set. I still think, and I don't.
The Red Wedding was fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, just because you never saw that coming.
It's like the other Stark kid whose name I can't even remember. They have this win, and you're like, man, they're fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we're going to kill you. We're going to kill your pregnant girlfriend.
The Lannisters send their respect, and they stab her in her pregnant belly. And it's like,
like,
oh my God!
Yeah, and the greatness of how shocking that was is what was missing.
And then Mom is like, ah! And they just watch, they leave her up. We're talking about Miss Stark, Madam Stark. Yeah. They leave her up, and there's blood flying out of her neck, and that's how that scene
ended. In the book, she comes back and kills... She comes back and kills some people. Her name is Lady Stoneheart.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
In the first, no, not the first book.
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, whenever Clash of Kings or whatever. I'm trying to find. I'm gonna say, and I think this is probably.
Hard Home's the episode that I've watched the most. I've watched that episode at least 5 times because of just how badass it was.
Baylor might be my favorite. The one when Ned gets it, because you just never saw that. You like the way, you know what I mean? They were like giving him mercy, and then that's when you really realize Joffrey's
like, you know what?
Yeah,
fuck it, let's go.
That
was
the
episode where Joffrey got killed. That one, goddamn, I love that. But see, there was nothing even remotely like that in these last 2 seasons.
Yeah, nothing.
You know, they can be like, well, Daenerys, and I'm like, well, I mean, anybody that kind of knows about story and all, I mean, you had to know when you've got two people of the same ilk, Jon and her, that one of them can't make it. One of them has to go down.
Unless they get together.
Or both of them have to go down.
Yeah.
Which I was so hoping for when he killed her. I was like, be prepared. I was like, this motherfucker's going to die tonight. I told Jody right after that, I said, he's going to fucking die tonight. And she's like, no, he's not. And I was like, yes, he fucking has to. And then it's like, nope, softball ending.
And they could have
underhanded pitch for the loss.
Like Drogo bringing back Cal, like in some sort of flashback where he's like, burn him down. You know what I mean? Something like they could have just done so much with all that, and they just yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, it was like, you have a moment. You can go anywhere.
You've got all the money in the world. You've got carte blanche on anything you want to do.
I promise you, I don't. And they can say that Martin wouldn't have liked it, or fuck him. It's not his fucking show. He sold the fucking rights. You're the showrunner. You're the goddamn quarterback. And all they did was check down the whole fucking game. They had guys running wide open down the field, and they just checked down.
Started bombing them.
They just checked down all game.
Yep.
They would never throw it deep.
They try to pass on third down.
It's just a fail. When you're up 4 touchdowns.
When you're up 4 touchdowns, you tried to throw on third down. Get out of field goal range.
Damn, it was so bad, dude. It just was so fucking bad. Oh.
Was there anything good? Was there anything that you did enjoy?
Clegane's.
Yes.
Clegane Bowl was awesome, and it looked fucking great. That shit was cool. And I watched a thing about the mountain man. You know, he had fucking Bell's palsy, which you get from like extreme stress.
Yeah.
And so half of his face is like sunk in.
He's a big dude.
But he was talking, and he's like, man, he's like, I loved being in the mountain, but he's like, you know, the last few seasons I've got this fucking helmet on, like you can't really see me.
Yeah.
But
ooh, that was a good ending too, when he squeezed Homeboy's head off. Remember when the guy from Dorne was fighting him, yes. And like you thought he was just whipping his ass and stuff, and then he gets a hold of him at the end. He squeezes his head. You're just like, oh, did that just happen?
And there was none of that, like, oh my goddamn, like that was the thing that was missing.
Yeah.
There was no like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Nothing. That's the.
I like the Clegane Bowl. Dude, the battle at Winterfell was freaking great. I didn't think it was too dark. That's
okay.
That scene when all that you see all this fire and it goes into the dark and then you just see the fire go out. Like, dude, that was good. There was some.
Yeah, because you thought all the Dothraki were dead.
Yeah.
But I guess they weren't, because they just rolled up to King's Landing with like another fucking 10,000 of them. Where the fuck are these guys at? Fuck. You gonna sit here and tell me there's like 40 dudes down there with this fucking dragon bitch? She doesn't have a fucking dragon. You've got a whole wall of all your shit. You've got these massive crossbows and all this, and you choose to do nothing? Cersei chooses to do nothing. So she's like, nah, it's fine. Send this bitch away, and she's gonna come back with 100,000 people and a fucking dragon. Like, it didn't make any sense. She would never have done that.
Kill him right there. Kill them all right then.
Why? There's no reason not to.
Yep.
She's already broken protocol by being like, if you have anything to say, you better just say it now, because.
And they didn't even give, like, they could have had one moment where Cersei, like, realized that she had made the mistake. Like, oh my God, that dragon is huge. Because she didn't, you know what I mean? She had never seen it till it started bombing.
Yes, she had.
When?
When they came to talk to her about the fucking White Walkers. Homegirl shows up on a fucking dragon. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right.
They fucked it up.
Yeah.
They fucked it up.
That shit's bad, man.
It was unfortunate, but fuck it. It's done now.
What's next? Lord of the Rings from Amazon?
No, well, I mean, they've already cast this this prequel show. They've cast a bunch of fucking people I've seen.
Hey, what's it called? It's called some weird, strange name that's Hellborn or something like that.
Well, it's going to take place.
Blood Hell or something like
Blood,
that.
who gives a fuck? It's
I'm
like,
sure it's going to be awesome.
well, it'll be this all over again.
Well, it's the way before, though, apparently.
Well, then that's fine. But they better. It has to be barbaric in the way that, like, things happen. Because if this new show ends up being closer to the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones as opposed to, like, the first 3 or 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, people won't fucking watch it. I would have given up on this show if they wouldn't have cut fucking Ned's head off at the end of that episode. Hey, Lee Bridges, yeah!
What's going on?
Yeah!
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's
And
how
I was mad as fuck when it happened. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? They just killed the main character. Like, what the fuck? But in retrospect, it's like, that's what sucked me in.
Yeah.
We're doing this now, so you don't have to fucking listen.
Thank God.
We tried to finish it before you got here, but you were timely this time.
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. What's going on? There's your magic card.
Oh, magician.
So there you go. Game of Thrones season turned out to be the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl when they lost to the Patriots.
Fucking worse than that, dude.
Man,
Worse than that, man.
run on third down when you're up before touchdowns. When you're up 6 seasons, run the ball.
Well, I think that's what they tried to do. They ran it too fucking much. They ran it so much that they went backwards and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
just God, awful. Fucking terrible. If you didn't already hear, it was just fucking atrocious.
Was it atrocious?
Holy God.
I
I couldn't have dreamt up, like if I was dreaming up ways to make this terrible,
Yeah.
I never could have imagined.
I saw 2 really good memes today. One was just said, "Sorry, your dragon show ended stupidly," and one was the tall blonde chick who's in Star Wars. The super tall blonde chick.
She's not super tall. She's like 5'2".
No, the tall chick.
The one that fell in love with Jamie. Oh,
Yeah.
what's her name?
Oh, the big tall.
Yeah. Well, she's writing the book at the end, and there was a meme that it was her writing. She said, "Breaking Bad is king of television."
That part was pointless too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why? It was almost as pointless as, you know, having to spend 15 minutes on her and Jamie having this weird make-out fuck session.
Yeah.
I didn't need that.
We don't need that. And then he just turned around and was like, I'm going to go back to Cersei.
Pointless.
It
You
was.
gonna think, like, for 1 second that tall bitch isn't gonna be down there with the dragon lady and the rest of these motherfuckers in the final battle?
All right. Yeah.
Nah, I'm just gonna stay up here and not do anything. Like,
She
immediately
was-
when she didn't go and the fucking big redheaded motherfucker didn't go, I was like, what's happening here? Why?
Why is everybody
What are they doing?
Yeah, what are they doing?
They were like, nah. We just gotta make sure that
They
everybody
should-
lives. Fuck
They
it.
couldn't afford their day rate.
I guess
so they
not.
had to write them
Fucking
out.
terrible. On to ninjas, dude. Fuck this shit. God. Yuck.